Okay, good morning.
$6.31.
Good morning, all. Good morning. Welcome to today's live stream. Bank of England decides. That's my score bellowing in there in the background. Let's have a look. Looks as though we're coming through okay. Yeah, sounds all in the green. Video's looking good. Welcome. Where is Andrew today? Presumably you can see me, can't you? Let's have a look here. Show on stream. Hang on, that's not right, is it? Let's have a look at. There we go. Welcome. Right, hopefully you can all see me. Right, here he is. Right, who we got in the house today? We got Joe de River. Hello to you. Manoj. Hello. Hand pick waving. What's all that about? NR. Manjor. Sanjay. Welcome to today's live stream. Hopefully you are well. Bit of a giveaway again today. We're doing some giveaways as well. Some decent amount of giveaways, which we'll talk about later. So you've got to be in it to win, of course. Espar Uki, hello to you. And Dion as well. Good to see you in the house today. Okay, so what's today all about? Today is all about the Bank of England. Okay, Bank of England are deciding on their interest rates. Like every central bank, they decide on interest rates if they're going to move them or not every month. Once every sort of 30 days or so. The Fed have just decided, of course, to leave their interest rates unchanged. Cases building now for a rate cut in the next meeting. Today, obviously, we're looking at the Bank of England. Okay, and what we're going to be doing, just so you know, is just before the announcement in about 5 minutes' time or so, I'm going to put out 3 questions. Okay, 3 trivia questions. Which will give you a chance to win a $12,500 experience program in our prop, absolutely free to enter. 3 very simple questions. I'm going to cover the answers in the next 5 minutes anyway, just while I'm talking. So you have to pay attention to what I'm saying, my little lesson on why this is so important. What the Bank of England rate decision means and so forth. And then I'll put up the questions. We'll listen to the announcement at the top of the hour. And then we'll basically go to the prizes and see who's basically got all 3 questions right, and the fastest one to get all 3 questions right wins. If not, if no one gets all 3 questions right, then we'll go down to those that got the 2 questions right, fastest, of course, and those that if there's only 1 question right, then of course that's a bit bad if that's the case. But if that is the case, then we'll go down to the fastest that got the 1 question right out of the 3. But I'm sure you will, if you're listening to what I'm saying, I'm sure you will basically get all 3 questions right. You've got to fill in your email address as well, correct email address, so that we can email you. There is a box there that says if you don't want to receive any stuff from us, you can tick, but that basically means you won't receive any notifications from us about live streams and other giveaways. So I strongly suggest you don't tick it. But obviously GDPR and all that, we've got to stipulate that, so you can opt out that if you wish. But then, of course, you won't be told when we're doing these live giveaways again. Right. Wales of Wall Street. Wales of Wall Street. Nice channel, Andrew. Would love to do a collab video one day. Oh, well, I guess I don't know anything about Wales of Wall Street, but you can always reach out to me at education@fundedtradingplus.com. We'll see what we do. Got a few more videos going out on that front. So MPC, Bank of England. It's basically when they decide on interest rates. Unlike the Fed, there's like a panel. There's like a panel of economists that work for the Bank of England. There's basically and they there's basically 9 of them, and they basically will say how many voted for and how many voted against. Okay, and I think the current estimation by the sort of economists that have been sort of interviewed is that they're going to see 7-2 split. So 7 voting for a cut in interest rates, a cut down from 4.25% where we are at the moment down to 4%. So it's pretty much priced into the market. Okay, so this rate cut. And we're expecting that, as I say, at the top of the hour. And then that, as I say, is pretty much in the market. But then Governor Bailey basically will be on a Q&A at the bottom of the hour. So he basically comes on and maybe ask questions. There's a forward statement as well that comes out with the announcement. And the statement basically gives you their thoughts about future cuts, the pace of future cuts. That's why that is so important. The actual rate decision itself at the top of the hour most probably isn't that important. Okay, so of course, oh, by the way, as you know, the disclaimer, this is not meant for investment advice. What I'm talking about over the next half an hour or so, purely meant for education and entertainment purposes, if indeed, of course, it's entertainment. That is up to you. There is, of course, the disclaimer. So please don't go and buy or sell anything that I've suggested here in my analysis. I can be right as well as I can be wrong. I can be wrong just as much as I am right. Trading is not about a particular call at any particular time. Trading is about number of trades over the long run. Okay, I call it the law of large numbers. You know, it's all about probability trading. All about one trade. The trade you're in at the moment, I can guarantee you now, is just not important. Okay, so looking at where pound is at the moment, pound is pretty flat. This is my momentum meter. It basically tells me where the main currency moves are in this current time period. So we're looking at the 4-hour chart at the moment. You see that the pound is pretty much flat. The white line is pretty much flat. Pound hasn't really been doing very much. It's only been really supported by what we're seeing, excuse me, in the US dollar. Dollar weakness is basically driving the euro higher and indeed the pound higher. Also looking up here, you've got the commodity currencies, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, the orange line and the grey line. Those are the strong currencies at the moment. Trading, as you know, is all about having an edge. I think if you're following trends and you're looking to get in on a trend, well, there's plenty of trends going on at any one time. For me, the best trend is to buy a currency that's strong and sell it against the currency that's weak against the basket of other currencies. That to me makes total logical sense. Rather than buying and selling currencies that are basically moving in line with each other, well, that doesn't basically give you an edge. And I see someone else down here on Trading Views got something I think going on as well. Is that momentum meter? Same type of thing. I don't know what that one's showing. So there you are at the moment. So let's have a quick look then at what the pound is doing. As I said, I don't really think the announcement that we're going to see today is going to be a massive mover. The only reason possibly why it will move is because of the split. If the split is 9-0, then the likelihood is that if they all voted for the cut, the likelihood is they may be more inclined to cut again next month. If the split is like 6-3, well, that basically means there's 3 that are saying they shouldn't be cutting this month. Well, that basically means, you know, then odds maybe going to be, and they do cut, say that, so it's 6-3, so they cut interest rates, but 3 voted against the cut, they'd be less inclined to be pushing for a cut again the next month. So if it's 6-3, I would expect to see the pound gather some strength, because that basically means that they were not all in favor of cutting. And of course, if you cut interest rates, the tendency is, or what should happen, is that the currency should come under pressure. You know, so an economy like the US at the moment, which has got some big issues going on in its labor market, you know, there are now increasing chances of cuts, which I'm going to talk about after the top of the hour. Then you know, that's why the dollar has been under so much pressure to the downside more recently. But looking at pound now, okay, this is the pound against the dollar. We're coming into what I would call a level of roadblock resistance. Okay, I always say to traders, if you're looking to increase your edge in the markets, you know, you should be always looking to sit on your hands and don't trade trend through roadblock resistance or roadblock support. This currency fell pretty much down from 137 down to 133 and 33.80 before bouncing back up to 136. This ascent basically started from this level, and then we smashed right through it with the dollar gaining some strength. Now the dollar is weakening up over the last 5 or 6 days with the pound getting stronger, but it's coming into this level. So I would say if you're looking to trade trend, it's most probably not the right place, and I would be more looking to trade the boomerang reversal ahead of this. Boomerang reversal is obviously where you see prices come in, hit, fail to take out the higher high. That is the pattern we look for reversal. So I'll be looking for this type of pattern on the lower time frame charts to confirm that it's not just me looking at this level, that the people, the traders that are moving this market into that zone are looking at it as well. We never know if there's liquidity up there. But if you look at simple price patterns, and I'm not into all these technical indicators that people use, if you look at simple price patterns, what traders are doing, that gives you a clue to see if there is liquidity up there. So that's why I like to use the boomerang reversal. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Just about 5 minutes to go now. We're not really on expecting a massive move in this currency or in anything really today, unless I say there's a big split. So what we'll do now, we'll just get on to the competition. If it runs over the announcement, then it runs over the announcement. I do want to listen to the statement though, because that will give us a bit of a clue. Okay, so here comes the questions. I'm going to reveal all the questions first, and then I will drop in the chat a Google Doc where you can fill in the answers. So what you want to do is write down your answers on a bit of paper, ready to fill in the form when I go through all the questions first. So the first question, to win $12,500 experienced trader program, is who is the governor of the Bank of England? Who's the governor of the Bank of England? Okay. How many voting members are on the MPC? MPC stands for the Monetary Policy Committee. These are basically the panel that vote on interest rates. We've covered that about 5 minutes ago. How many voting members are there, and what are the current? What is the current base rate? So the interest rate as it is at the moment before the announcement out in about 2 minutes' time. So there are the questions. I will now drop in the form where you can complete your answers, and I'll drop that into the chat now. Hopefully this works. The first time we've done it this way around, isn't it? So we normally use Gleam, but this is another way of doing it. Okay, so there's the form. So click on that form, opens up your Google Doc, fill it in. Remember, leave your correct email address. That way we can notify you if you are going to be one of the winners. We're giving away one account straight after the announcement. We've got about 2 minutes to go on that, and we'll see if any answers are coming in correct. Hopefully you can all see that. Hopefully that is all coming through. I've had a little go myself. Of course, I know the answers. Hopefully most of you know the answers anyway, without having to listen to me, because we do talk about this on our live streams on a regular basis. So hopefully these streams are meant for a bit of education, as well as sort of my views on the markets. It's always wise, I think, to know what's driving our markets. We are traders after all. We look at technical analysis and tools, but it's nice to know what's actually driving the markets, because ultimately that is what we are doing. So there you have it. There you have it. Yeah. Okay. So we got about 45 seconds. I just want to listen to this announcement. Get your answers in, and we'll see. We've got a few answers coming in, a few correct answers on some of them, and a few wrong answers coming in as well. So let's have a look now. We've got about 30 seconds to go on this. So I reckon they're going to cut interest rates, and I reckon the vote's going to be 7-2. That's what I think. I've given you a clue there on one of the questions, but there you are. So I just want to listen out to this and the follow-on statement. And in the meantime, we will look at sterling to see if indeed it does anything. Drop it down to the
25 basis point cut.
Okay.
25 basis point cut, 4% as expected.
So a 25 basis point cut as expected.
Voted by a majority of 5 to 4 to reduce
5 to 4. Okay, 5 to 4. That means that only marginally wanted a cut. This is not good. Sorry, this is good for sterling. So I would expect sterling now to rise because of the split, as I mentioned. 5-4, meaning 4 of the members didn't want to have a cut at all. So this is why now the sterling is moving higher. Okay, so we've broken through now our roadblock resistance.
Forecasts show food price inflation peaking at around 5 spot.
So what the Bank of England have got, they've got a bit of an issue because they've got
part of the rise is due to higher minimum wage, packaging tax, national insurance, as well as higher global prices.
Okay, so inflation is the problem. Inflation is still running well above their target, but the jobs market is looking weak. So they're obviously wanting to cut interest rates to spur on the economy, to help people get back into work. But the problem is they've got it's actually called stagflation, if anyone wants to know what that is. But basically they've got inflation but not a growing economy, and that's what they call stagflation. Stagnating economy but growing inflation. But this is good for sterling. This has now smashed through the resistance zone. As I would have said, the split was what would move the market, and indeed it has moved the market. We have now got so inflation is the issue. That's what they are basically saying. Right, we've got a few entries coming in.
So the Bank of England forecasts unemployment rate 4.9% in Q4
4.9% unemployment. See, that's quite high unemployment, and they've got two mandates. They've got two mandates to fulfill. They've got to keep inflation at 2%, but also they've got to maximize employment, and that's why they've got such a balancing act, and that's why I think it's gone to 5-4. Sterling goes higher. Sterling goes higher on the back of the split, and also on the back of, if you look at what's happening in the US, the case has really changed in the US in terms of their interest rates. Just so you know, as I said earlier, high interest rates basically means strong economy. Low interest rates means a low currency. Strong interest rates, high interest rates, strong economy, strong currency. Low interest rates, stagnating economy, and lower currency. And when you're trading currencies here, you're buying one currency, you're selling the other. So pound's going up, US dollar is going down. Look at the Fed Watch tool, which we talk about all the time, which is basically our guide to where interest rates are going in the US. Okay, now this has changed massively in the last. It's now a 93% chance that they're going to cut interest rates on the 17th of September. Okay, so the current interest rate is 4.25%, down to 4%, 93% chance, only a 7% chance that they won't cut interest rates. And that's changed. Look, from a week ago, it was at 37%, and now it's at 93%. So that basically means that the cut in interest rates in the US is pretty much confirmed. And with that 5-4 split, basically means we're less likely to see a cut next time out. It'll be interesting to see the follow-on statement, it'll be interesting to see the Q&A and the statement. Well, the statement's out, but the Q&A from the Bank of England governor at the bottom of the hour. But there you go. So that's basically why sterling is trading higher. Now it's broken through that level of what I call roadblock. That roadblock came in at 33.70. That's most probably your buying level. If this retraces now, then I would assume that your 33.70 is a level where you look to potentially get long. We've broken out there. There's not clearly big sellers up there at the moment. Otherwise, we would have dropped much quicker back down to this level. It stalls, obviously, where it basically led to that move. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a pullback to that zone, or 50% of that zone, gets you in about 33.95. Stops below. Stops below the that roadblock. So stops below 33.50. That is most probably your decent trade. 50% pullback. Stops below
cash flow
And
from operations.
targeting there, that gives you 1.6 to 1. You can even, possibly even if you want to sit on your hands and go and do something else for the rest of the week, you can possibly target 35.70 at some point. Certainly, as there's quite a few Fed speakers out last night. Quite a few Fed speakers out last night. They were all talking down cuts as well, talking down the market as well in terms of cuts. Another reason why the stock markets are going to all-time highs. So that's most probably not a bad little trade there, buying sterling now on that split. Right, let's have a look at this competition then. How are we getting on? We've had a few entries, I see. Thank you all for taking part. Let's have a look at the answers. Competition is now closed. Okay, so competition is now closed. And I can reveal, of course, the answers first. So, who is the governor of the Bank of England? Everyone got that right. Well done. Everyone got Andrew Bailey. Andrew John Bailey, said one of them. So, covering all answers there. Governor Bailey is the answer, correct. How many voting members on the panel? Well, as I've said a few times, the split was 5-4. That basically means there are 9 members. 9 members, and if and the governor basically has, that's why 9, because you can't have then a hung panel, 4-4. Then it becomes down to the governor. Governor's vote carries more weight if it's 4-4. What's the current base rate? I've got everything from 5.25. Someone said 4%. No, that's where we are now. The answer was 4.25%. The current base rate, as I called the questions before the top of the hour, was 4.25%. We had, I can tell you now, we had 17 correct answers. 17 correct answers. Let's have a look. And I will now put in the winner. Here we go. So the fastest finger first was, there we go, Nesag Rana. Nesaj Rana. Congratulations to you. You were the fastest fingers first. I will tell you now. You won it literally by 1 second. And you won it by 1 second, and the third person was 6 seconds behind you. And then about a minute. So you won it by 1 second. So well done for you. And the third person, which unfortunately was Mohammed, you were 3 seconds behind. And Jordan, you were 1 second behind. So there you are. I can tell you that. Jordan was 1 second behind. Congratulations. It doesn't matter about the cube. Doesn't matter about the wrong slot. That's okay. I could work that out. I could work out that the governor of the Bank of England is not 4.25%. I could work that out. So no problems. 100% people use ChatGPT. I've got no problem with that. Wales of Wall Street. It's not. You can use ChatGPT. But if you use ChatGPT, you're going to be behind everyone. Yeah, the time you type in the question, ChatGPT, and get the answer, you're going to be behind everyone. Yeah. You've got to listen to me. That's what you got to do. You got to listen to me, because I always give out the answers beforehand anyway. So only one winner. Yep, only giving one winner. But we are doing. I tell you what we are doing. We've got a really exciting giveaway now, which is going out to the whole of our community, by the way. But if you're interested, so unlucky for all those that entered and didn't win today, but we give these away. We'll do another gold one on Monday, which is Guess the Gold, which is I don't know where gold's going at the moment. But we have got another great little giveaway at the moment, which you might be interested in. This is where you can win some really serious accounts. Okay, we've got $100,000 account giveaway. Okay, we've got two 50K giveaways, and we've got three 25K giveaways. So also that's $275,000 accounts we're giving away. It's free to enter. All you have to do is follow these rules here. Share our pinned post, tag us at Funded Trading Plus, use the hashtag Prestige Light Launch, and tag 3 friends in the comment section. Okay, now this is good for X and it's good for Instagram. So go over to our Instagram accounts, Instagram page, go over to our X Twitter account page and do that, and you've got a chance to win some serious accounts there. So for those of you that didn't get lucky today, then here's a chance, to get lucky on here as well. So get off there and get busy spreading the word, and you've got a chance to win. Someone was saying earlier, I noticed here. So you said, Spooky, hello guys, I'm quite new to trading, trying to understand how all this could affect the markets. Could anyone explain to me? Yeah, I mean, if you want to learn more about trading in general, you can always come over to our education area. We give away all our free education to anyone that takes out an assessment account. Just use the code. Let me just clear these off for a sec. They're getting in the way. So, yep, congratulations to our winner. Yes, if you come over to, now you've asked, if you come over to our education section, you get access to all this. Okay. You can have access to our beginners course, intermediate. It's all included. Leverage, everything's explained. Everything you need to know about trading. What's the spread, lots, pips. I mean, that's all basic stuff. But then you get into the professional stuff, compound interest, know your strategy, risk on, risk off, probabilities, technical analysis, some support and resistance walkthroughs there, and momentum meter, candlestick patterns. We've got a psychology area as well, a deep dive. This is really, really important stuff. We also talk about our strategies. I talk about some strategies that I trade in our streams in my everyday trading. Very basic strategies, but I talk everyone through them there if anyone was interested. You've also got some cheat sheets. We've got journals. We've got a great journal spreadsheet. Your sort of false breakout strategy and so forth. We've also got Simon, who's our CEO. You'll know he put together this fantastic sort of 10 hours, I think it is, 10 hours of psychology, everything that you need to know. And you can get all this absolutely free. It's all quite high. And there's a quiz in there as well. After each video, there's a quiz to test your knowledge before you move on to the next one. There's about 400 quiz questions in here. Putting there we go, over the decades that I've been trading. If you want to get your hands on that, just when you take out a 50K account, if you use the coupon code POPIQ, okay, you'll get access to all that education for absolutely free. And also for a limited time, while my calendar is where it is, you'd also get a link to my calendar where you can book in like a one-on-one session with me. We get on the call for about an hour on a Google Meet or Teams or something like that, where we will basically work out a trade plan for you, where you are now, where you want to get to, and how I think you should get there. So you get a session with me as well. So if you use the POPIQ code, take out the 50K assessment or above, then it gets you directly into that. And it also is a really good segue, because the Experienced Trader program at the moment is running a 20% discount. Okay, so 20% discount on that. Okay, so I should show you that link there at the moment. It's called the 20% Splash Summer Sale. there is the link to it there. If you want to use the coupon code at the checkout, you'll get straight into it. Okay, if that is your thing. We've also got a 10% off our Prestige Light programs as well, which is a new program we've just launched, which is part of this sort of campaign we're doing on the Prestige Light static drawdown. Fantastic accounts and some huge discounts on there as well. So get yourself involved in that. Have we pulled back in sterling? Sterling's motoring on. Didn't get a chance to pull back unless it did. Let's have a look at the 1 hour. No, it's just moving on. 15-minute. Let's have a look at the 15-minute or 5-minute to be pulled back. Hasn't had a pullback at all. Wow, this is a big move. Big move. I don't fight it. I think, with this trend in play, you've most probably got, this is our next. I'm looking at the daily chart again, down here at the bottom. Let me just make it bigger for you. Move the camera there. Yeah, so that is basically, I would say, your target, 136. With the downward pressure on dollar, upward pressure on sterling, and this was, by the way, I didn't trade this, and it's just escaped my attention. But this zone here, this pattern here was our naked trading entry. So had you been trading one of my naked trading strategies, which looks at the daily patterns at support and resistance, you'll be in this trade now, and you'll be definitely up to one to one at the moment. Great little move here. So sterling's been on the move really since last week, 31st of July. Today's information just confirms it. Remember, we've got the talk at the bottom of the hour. What else is going on in the markets? So I think you've got targets up to 36. You've got stops below, and now you've cleared that level. It's all systems go for sterling. All systems go. Let's have a look what the dollar is doing. Dollar is flat at the moment against the. This is a really negative move for the dollar, and this has all happened. You will recall, for those of you that follow me and follow the markets, will know why this happened. This happened because we had non-farm payroll last Friday, which showed really strong revisions on the numbers, and strong revisions on the numbers basically shows that the US job market is really in not a very good state. So much so that Trump fired the head of the data company that compiles all these numbers. Now, if you're watching my stream on Friday, when the revisions came out, I blow my own trumpet here, but if you watch my streams, I was saying Trump is not going to like this. I said keep an eye out on Trump's Twitter account, X account, because he is not going to like the revisions. The numbers are bad enough, the fact that the jobs are really weak, but the fact that those revisions came in like they did, I haven't seen anything like that. They revised it from 147,000 last month down to, I think it was 17,000 or something like that. Massive. Just shows you they just had no idea what the numbers are. He wasn't going to like that, and I thought he just put out a little tweet saying, "I'm not happy about this. It's all a fudge. It's all a fix." He wasn't happy at all. He actually fired the lady that's head of the head of that department that does all that compiling of the national data. So I think I called that one pretty right. And because of that, that's why the dollar has gone into free fall, because Powell now has really little option but to cut interest rates at the next meeting, because the job market is in a dreadful state. And remember, they've got two mandates, pretty much like the Central Bank of England. They've got two mandates where they've got to control inflation at to keep inflation down to 2%. Inflation's running about a little bit higher, but not too much higher. 3%, 3.1, I think. But they've also got a mandate to get job numbers, the job numbers to maximum employment, and they're way off that at the moment. So to spur on the economy, to create some growth, they need to cut interest rates, and that basically means investment for companies becomes cheaper, debt repayment becomes cheaper, and of course the dollar follows. So that's why the dollar is under pressure now. I've got a video on the dollar. The dollar had, look, you've got to go back out since basically almost COVID, when dollar yen was trading 114. Okay, and we had two goes at these highs back up to 162. This is dollar long, and you know that the Japanese have negative interest rates. Okay, it's called the carry trade. The dollar, institutionally wise, institutions are long dollar. There's a lot of carry trade positions out there still that would need to unwind. I would say that long-term view now that the Fed start cutting interest rates, and you know what's happening in Japan, they're talking about interest rates potentially going up as inflation is beginning to tick up now. They've been really struggling to get inflation moving, completely the opposite to the rest of the developed world where inflation was running high. It wasn't running high in Japan. So they had negative interest rates for a long period of time, which is why you had traders buying dollar and selling yen. Now you're seeing the reverse of that. Now you're seeing traders potentially, or rates potentially coming down in the States and up in the Japanese economy. That could see, you know, a big reversal of this big trade. This is longer term stuff. You're not going to make anything on today, but I would say even a 50%.
7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The Bank of England press conference with Governor Bailey.
Even with a.
The live video is on the feed for all those interested.
Thank you. 50% move of that move takes you down to 137. So realistic target. I mean, can you see, if you were, if you had to make a call, are we going to hit 161 or are we going to hit 136? We're basically bang in the middle of that at the moment. I beg your pardon. Yeah, the 50% is there at 136.60. I've roughly drawn the entry there from when we started this breakout, which is around 115. The 50%, that move takes you down to 136.75 or there. What do you think when the interest rate policy is shifting massively in these two economies?
US Treasury Secretary Besson says, I don't think this is the biggest trade reset since 1935. The biggest trade reset was the China's trade shock. So Besson's currently speaking on MSNBC.
Oh yeah, he's speaking over here. So there you have it. So that is the call. I would think you start looking at your bias for dollar weakness. Dollar weakness. What about Aussie strength? Aussie dollar at the moment might be something in there today. Why am I looking at the Aussie dollar? Well, I'm looking at the Aussie dollar. Nice trendy market to the upside. Let's just take it out to the 4-hour chart over there. And the reason I'm looking at the Aussie dollar is because it is one of the strongest currencies at the moment. Again, this looks very similar to the pound, doesn't it? But again, that's your roadblock. This 4-hour candle is taking you out through the roadblock. It's pulling back now. The bias for me on this trade would be to buy. Look at the Aussie. Right? The Aussie is the orange line. The white line is the pound, by the way. See, that's the pound that's trading stronger now on the back of a MPC vote. The orange line is the Aussie dollar. So if you're selling the US dollar, buy something that's strong against it. You've got a nice little pullback there. I mean, this is almost like a boomerang pullback. Stops below the swing low. So stops below 64.90. There's your entry. Anywhere really around here, stops below and retargeting. Strong currency. Dollar's pulling back. Right. Why does the pound gain strength? Says Tibogo 2. I think you should turn your mic up, turn your volume up. Tebogo. Just turn your volume up because that's all I've been talking about for the last half an hour. Why did the pound yen go higher? What about pound Swiss? It says pound Swiss. Look at the Swiss, the red line. Swiss is weak. Low yielding currency. They may have to cut their rates even more. They're negative at the moment. They may have to cut their rates even more negative, especially with the 39% tariffs that Trump's just put on them. Okay, so Swiss is an economy, is a weak currency. Pound is strong. So what's that tell you? Well, I'm only buying it unless I see a big reversal on my naked reversals. So let's have a look at pound Swiss. Yeah. You found support down there, bounced off a couple of times. Your naked reversal has you long here from there. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about on the boomerang reversals, you can check out the education, which I've given you access to. If you're serious about trading, 50K account or 100K account, better value, 20%. That 20% won't be there forever. Yeah, so I like the pound Swiss. Let's just have a look at the entries. Again, your breakout, your structural support now is at 107.85. So that's where your support's going to come in. Running off the mouse pad. That's where your support is going to come in. Whether we pull right back there, maybe a tall ask. Well, it's only 30 pips, only 40 pips. But that's your entry. Stops below the swing low that led to that swing high, which is stops below that. And away you go. That's my entry. Let me just take that onto the 4-hour chart, onto the bigger screen. So that's my entry. Swing low. Oops. Here we go. Stops below there, and it stops below there. That swing low that led to that swing high, and your profit target is up there. So that gives you about 2-to-1. Weak currency against a strong currency. Boom. Which indicator is that? If you're talking about this, you can go to indicators on TradingView. I had this coded for me about 10 years ago now. Well, I had it coded on MT4 many years ago, about 10 years ago. I had this coded for me on TradingView about 4 or 5 years ago. You go to indicators, type in momentum meter, and it should come up. Momentum meter for top 8 currencies. And you can access it there. It's all free. I do have an MT4 version as well, which anyone really wants, they can email me. education@fundedtradingplus.com. All right, folks, I'll leave that there now. I want to get on to watch this interest rate decision meeting, okay, because I think it's going to be an interesting one, interesting Q&A today. So you can watch it on Bloomberg, or you can watch it on any where you get your news sources. I've got it on my live Squawk, of course, but you can get it live places where you get your news, I guess. So thanks for tuning in. Congratulations to our winner. Well done to you. Well deserved. On Monday, we'll be doing the gold, guess the gold, another giveaway. If you want to win the, want a chance of winning one of those larger accounts, get yourselves there on the socials. Do what you need to. Head over to the Instagram and the X accounts, and it will all be clear for you there. So that's good. We are streaming next week as well as the week ahead. I don't know what it is at the moment. It's on the calendar, but of course, if you haven't ticked the email, then you'll get notified. Right, folks. thanks for that. Thanks for tuning in. Congratulations. Don't forget, PopIQ is the code to access all the education. And I say we've got that 20% giveaway, which is on the experience program. And the light programs as well. The light programs, there's a 10% giveaway on those, should you wish to. The light program is, as I say, it's got that static drawdown, which is there it is. I'll just put that link up there. Prestige light program. You can click on that, and it tells you all the different benefits of it as well. Lots to get your teeth into there. If you're serious about trading, maybe it's time to do things differently and take things a bit more seriously. I've given you some options there, so hopefully you think it's worthwhile. Thanks indeed for tuning in, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a good couple of trading days and weekend ahead.